What was I gonna say? Welcome to the Animatronic Trio.
Oh, where are you going?
I don't know, are we?
Oh, yeah, go for it. Sorry. Start it over.
Well, welcome to the Animatronic Trio, the podcast with the topics for all things pop culture, Disney, Star Wars, and more. And the host just won't grow up. Speaking of hosts, I'm Anthony.
I'm Aaron.
Ashley's gone.
Oof.
The Animatronic Trio podcast has become a bit of an animatronic duo podcast.
For now.
Ashley's in the other room watching bad TV on Netflix.
Mad TV or bad TV?
Oh, bad TV.
Bad TV. They
She's
said
watching-
Mad TV.
she's
I was like,
watching bad.
Is Mad TV still a thing? I don't think it is.
I don't think so. It's probably terrible. So yeah, we're gonna basically continue doing the podcast, but we're gonna be doing the podcast as a duo and making some videos and things like that. But we're gonna keep calling it the trio.
Yeah. Just
I feel like Ashley will be mad.
And maybe we'll have some special guests every now and then.
Ashley. Yeah, we will. Before we begin, I feel like this is I like this the script that I wrote a while ago.
Is this new? Is this fresh? Have I not heard this?
Oh no, it's exactly the same.
Oh.
Before we begin, we know you have choices and from this podcast, and we want to thank you for making the right choice with the Animatronic Trio duo. If it feels good about that choice, as we do, please subscribe, like, comment, follow, search Animatronic Trio on all major podcast platforms, and hit the subscribe button. Also, we have video versions of all of our podcasts and other fun content sometimes on the Animatronic Trio YouTube channel. Head over, hit the notification bell, so you know when our newest podcasts and more drop.
That's it. That was exactly the same.
So here's the deal, everyone. We've decided to do a YouTube channel and a podcast, and we've gone about doing, I think we've done 13 or 14, 15 episodes? 14
Maybe.
episodes?
That sounds
And a couple YouTube videos, and we suck at it.
Well, to be fair, we started this in the very beginning of a pandemic. Well, yeah, near the beginning of a pandemic.
Going through some weird stuff.
And we had ideas for content, and unfortunately, we decided to do it when there was zero content coming out.
We've also had, like, I would say we got consistent for a little while.
Yeah.
We're feeling it out. We're figuring out how we wanted to flow our formula, so to speak.
Yeah.
Format. But, like, also then, like, we did the terrible watch-along podcast, which go and check that out. If you want to listen to a horrible podcast about a fairly decent movie that doesn't pertain to this channel whatsoever.
Exactly. We had no content. It's like we were digging for scraps, man, and we.
I mean, we literally talked about The Mandalorian for probably 6 of our 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Ashley is gonna get the dog. Nope, she is. Oh, here she's getting.
Welcome to the Animatronic Trio.
Oh, she's back. Not really off camera. Anyway, but she had one job. She had one job to make sure the dog was quiet.
Just the one?
I don't even know if they can hear the dog anyway in these. Oh, here comes.
There's
Promo.
the trio.
There's Prom. There he's out. He's fine. Just let him be. Okay. But what? Oh, and then every time we're like, oh, don't worry. It's gonna be sick. We're going to Disneyland next week. We're gonna do a video. We're going to touch or taste of Disney.
Yeah.
We're going like all of these things like would happen, and then like we'd end up we'd like lose a video or like not have.
We did have a lot of technical difficulties for a very long time.
There's probably 7 podcasts out there that never made the air.
Yeah.
And I say out there, I mean like deleted in the trash file. That just like the audio didn't work or the camera shut off or something.
Oh god.
We were trying to do it off an iPhone. We were trying to like record it through a separate recorder straight to the computer. Like it was a whole thing. So we think we have a good system now.
Right.
We also were going to Disneyland and we were going to do a video like last month? No, 2 months ago. When did we go but not go?
Oh, August. So like 4 months ago.
So like 4 months ago, we were going to Disneyland. Started not feeling so great. Got there, checked in the hotel. me and Ashley were COVID positive. We just hung out in a hotel for 4 days while Aaron went to Big Lots.
And Marshalls. And Five Below.
And Five Below. Aaron had COVID before. He didn't get COVID. He was apparently immune. Stayed in the hotel with us for the whole time and car ride and didn't get sick. So that was impressive.
That was actually very surprising.
I was like, for sure.
Because I get sick a lot.
For sure he was going to go down or at least join us. So we ended up not. We went to Disney, bought tickets, paid for a hotel. We basically went to Disneyland to have COVID and not go to Disneyland.
Yes.
So that sucked. So we had, no content from that. And then we basically hated Disney you
and Ashley hated Disney.
We were like anti.
I did not. I was ready to go.
We were anti-Disney because of how bad, when you get like, you associate
Yes.
A memory with a bad time.
Yeah, it's like you think of this one song.
Yes, exactly. You hear a song and brings you back, or a smell.
Yeah.
Like we had like that bad taste in our mouth for Disneyland just because of how depressing that whole trip was. But obviously we were recovered. We're good to go. We're feeling good, and we're going back to Disney.
It's happening.
And we're finally excited again.
And
we don't hate it anymore.
And rides are open now. They've got some new stuff. It's the holiday season. There's a Christmas tree right here that you can't see, but it is that time of the year that is the best time of the year at Disney.
Yeah, they're full-blown holiday. Big boys here.
Animatronic trio.
We got the dog in. Full-blown holiday. They got all that stuff. So, that's something cool we could talk about. We'll probably do a video. I don't know how crazy of a video. We'll probably do a holiday video of some kind while we're there, just because we didn't do anything last time. We were going to because we were going for the opening of Avengers Campus.
Oh, yeah.
All web slingers, all that stuff. We were going to go do all that stuff. Basically did nothing. So it's basically, we're doing that. We're doing the whole thing again. 4 months later. The Genie app is up and going.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I've really been off track with my Disney knowledge the last couple months, which is funny because during the pandemic and when we started this, it was like we're diving in, but there was nothing to really know about. And now that like things are back and running, I'm like, I haven't caught up with anything other than
So and that's
content-wise.
And so basically, this podcast just us chatting about the last couple of months and like some things that are popping up like right now. Like obviously, us going to Disney, the launch of the Genie Plus Lightning Lane, the individual Lightning Lane system. So I could talk about that and break down how that all works as well. I don't know if you saw we're not gamers. Well, you might game. You game-ish.
I
have a driving simulator. So like we game, but in not game.
I play Spider-Man.
Yeah, of course you do.
And I've recently gotten into Fortnite, but like other than that, I haven't
You're
played
a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah. Well, what's funny too is Spider-Man just came out like 3 or 4 days ago on Fortnite, and so now I'm like totally invested.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I'm like I'm working my way up to get him.
But I believe Star Wars just dropped a new game. Eclipse.
I didn't see the trailer, but I saw screenshots.
I watched the trailer because I was like, wait, what is this? It looked like it's a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
It looked kind of badass.
Yeah, like I saw screenshots, and what's funny is the screenshots I saw.
It looks dark.
Someone posted like, "Oh, this game looks stupid, very out of character for Star Wars," and the screenshots that they posted, I was like, "This looks exactly like Star Wars."
There was some things that I would say were like didn't feel super Star Warsy to me, but also like, I'm down for some Star Wars to be kind of dark and moody and not
Disney.
Yeah. Like I'm okay with it going that direction a bit. Some of the aliens there was normal Star Wars aliens, and then there's like this dude like banging a drum, and I thought it was real, not gonna lie, but it was computer generated. I was like, holy shit, they did like a full like video, and I was like, oh no, it's not. And then like he like kind of turns around, and I'm like, what kind of? You just look like a normal human with a out of note. Like you look like Lord Voldemort.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sorry, he who shall not be named. But other than that, I mean, the trailer looked pretty sick.
I think to that point too about like maybe it didn't look like a Star Wars alien, because you hear that a lot, and I'll admit, like, even in The Force Awakens, ironically, because of J.J. Abrams, there were a lot of aliens where I was like, these look more like Star Trek characters.
Oh my god.
The people who were like pirates and raiding Han and Chewie when they got the Millennium Falcon back, that entire sequence, I was like, this feels like I'm watching Star Trek right now, and Han Solo just happens to be here. But to that point,
well, that's
the counter argument is, look, you know, you had 6 movies that showed a lot of similar aliens before The Force Awakens, and there's an entire universe.
There's a
whole galaxy and universe, and so it's like, I see that point, and so I'm up for new things.
Yeah, and that's was my point. I was like, I'm down for it to go that direction. I mean, the sequel trilogy it's not sticking. Nobody's like, I mean, it's just one of those things where, that's why I think a lot of fans are like, it doesn't feel Star Warsy, because they felt like the sequel trilogy didn't feel Star Warsy. I mean, it like doesn't, and then like I think people are afraid we're gonna go too far away from George Lucas Star Wars, and it's gonna become Star Trek.
I don't think people need to worry about that. I will say, like, the whole, like, the sequel trilogy isn't sticking. I saw The Rise of Skywalker 1 time. I saw The Last Jedi 2 times, and I wish I only saw it once.
Yeah.
I saw The Force Awakens maybe 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. Every other Star Wars movie I've seen more than 10. The prequel trilogy, I've seen each one more than 10 times. Yeah. The original trilogy, I've seen each one more than 20 or 30 times. But I don't think people should be so afraid about Star Wars going in a too far direction, because look at The Mandalorian. It's extremely Star Wars. It's very much screams, but it's new and it's fresh and it's different. And I think that I very much can trust the direction of where Lucasfilm.
You can trust Kathleen Kennedy?
I don't have. I think I can.
Here's what I think. I think so far what is Star Wars about? Star Wars is about feature films, right?
Yeah.
The stuff we're seeing for all of the streaming shows is awesome. Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
The last 4 Star Wars movies have been failures. And like that's
critically. Well, what do we mean? Financially or critically? I don't. To be honest, I don't know the numbers, but I would say, and you would argue
obviously
too.
they made money.
Yeah.
Obviously they made money.
But it's funny too that our opinions even on that are so different. Like, you very much enjoy Solo. I didn't, like, very extremely did not enjoy it. And to be fair, I didn't see it in theaters. I watched it by myself. I was a little distracted when I watched it, but I also was just like, I felt like I couldn't get into it. But on the other spectrum, like, and a lot of people's opinions are different. I have a lot of friends who hate Rogue One. I love Rogue One. I think I like it better than Attack of the Clones, and I like it better maybe than The Phantom Menace. Like, I really, really
Solo
like it.
And the last 3 sequel trilogy movies.
And I like The Force Awakens. My biggest complaint is its best compliment is that it's literally A New Hope, but in the modern century, like, in terms of filmmaking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very inconsistent. I'll give it that.
I would say I don't trust them. I would say I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic, but I don't trust that. I have full faith in their ability to make. I mean,
and you're talking right now strictly feature films, right? Or are we?
Right, I'm talking about feature films.
Because we're not talking about Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan.
No. Like I said, I think the streaming shows are doing well, but that's
a different.
That's Filoni. That's Favreau. That's.
And so, do you not think? Or is there even public knowledge? I just don't know, because again, I haven't been catching up. Are Filoni and Favreau not having any participation in the feature film side of these things?
Well, they had what's her name slated to direct.
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins was slated to direct
Rogue Squadron,
which they've already essentially pulled the plug on.
But then she literally just like a week ago came out and said, like, I'm stepping away from the Cleopatra movie because she wanted to commit to that.
Right. So. But, I mean, I think it's one of those things where they've basically said, like, it's not happening. And then she came back and said, like, oh, but I'll cancel this Cleopatra thing. And to me, it's like, it seems weird that they would like cancel it and bring it back. And like everything that they've shut down so far, they've not brought back. They've never done that one time. But I think they're at a point where they need to put out a new movie because like they can continue to stream shows. Mandalorian, you know, the highest watch or most watched streaming show ever so far. Like, but they need a movie. They need
but I also think like too, like to me personally, if they canceled the Rogue Squadron movie, I'm like, who cares? Like that doesn't sound like
I understand,
of
but, like,
a
what are we
million
doing?
ideas you could think of for the next Star Wars movie. I'm like, really a Rogue Squadron movie? Like I know a lot of people want something set before the prequel trilogy in the Old Republic era. I'm cool with that, but you know, we could even dive into something completely new.
Well, of course. I mean, that's the.
Like, why do we have to have
We don't need to be in like the Skywalker saga. Like,
but we don't
whatever.
even need to see X-wings anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I freaking love them. It's one of my favorite, you know, science fiction type of spaceship vehicle things. Am I hitting that and it's making noise?
No, I was saying there's an X-wing over there.
Oh, yeah, but it's like, you know, I don't want to see X-wings, A-wings type ships anymore, and against some.
Wow.
Like, I'm not saying ever, but I'm just saying, like, do I want to see a movie about that right now? No, I'm actually liking some of the newer stuff. And yeah, I think I'd be interested in seeing characters and maybe... And even this, it's like Jedi. Do we want to even see stuff about Jedi anymore? I'd be like, sure, if it's either so far in the future or so far in the past in ways that we've never seen it before. And I would rather see it stuff in the past and see what stuff was like, you know, old Jedi temple, like see what they were doing and that dynamic of how they would work in the temples and
I mean,
all that,
I would be like the. I mean, and it's one of those things where there's also so much that's been explored in the novels that could make great movies, and it's like all the Timothy Zahn, Thrawn novels are awesome. They take place, you know, basically with all of our legacy characters, you know, which is, again, you know, do we need to see them? No, not necessarily. But like, what do you, like, just look at what sells. Like, literally, the original trilogy still sells more for everything than the sequel trilogy. Like, there's like a weird balance where it's like, you want to
do something new.
You want to see things that are new and different, which I feel like they do more in like the video games and like you hear about. But like at the same time, it's like, but like do something compelling, because like they didn't even. It was basically like they were like, hey, Rian Johnson, do a movie, and then they were like, oh, we didn't like that, so instead of like building 2 more movies that like build those stories, like, and that's the problem. Is like I think that movie wasn't like I don't think it was. There was character arcs being developed that they just bailed on.
Are you talking about Last Jedi? Or Force Awakens?
The freaking Force Awakens. That's the problem.
Wait, but like, you're talking about Rian Johnson's movie? The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson did the Last Jedi.
Abrams?
J.J. Abrams did the first one and the third one. Rian Johnson did the Last Jedi, which is why I hate it, and which is why I was very surprised that he was even considered or signed on to do the other Star Wars movie.
This is proving my point.
Right.
I can't even keep the movie straight.
Right. They're like, not memorable.
They're not memorable. And like I feel like there was storylines that were started that they bailed on. They didn't know where the story was going. Like there was
no communication.
So for me, basically, to bring it all back, I don't trust that they're going to get it right because they've not proved to be able to get it right. Yeah. When they leave it in Filoni and Favreau's hands, you get the Mandalorian.
Right.
Like, so why would, like, it's just one of those things where you go, like, why are you trying to, like, over-executive produce this stuff when, like, you have good stuff? Like, and, like, you hear about all this stuff, like, people being like, oh, yeah, like, it was good until, you know, so-and-so got their hands on it, or there was creative differences. Like, Star Wars, I feel like, is just driving away good directors. And it's like the only reason why I think that they would bring back Patty Jenkins for this movie is because they really, 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 really want a female director to direct a Star Wars.
Right, but and that
And
too,
it's like-
I'm like Patty Jenkins. Like, no offense, I don't know her work,
Well,
but I tell you
Wonder
what,
Woman.
Wonder Woman, extremely
Average.
extremely. Like I saw Wonder Woman and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's like so groundbreaking, so good. And I was like, it's literally the first Captain America movie. And even the first Captain America movie isn't very good.
Yeah.
Like,
But
they
anyway,
literally, yeah.
Yeah. My point was, well, anyway, back to bringing it back.
I know, we're going on a...
The Eclipse trailer was pretty sweet.
I was like, we're going on a Star
and
Wars.
it's taking, yeah, we're trying to bring it back.
Anytime we talk about Star Wars, though, it's funny because you can
I don't even
get
know
so
how we
into it.
got back to the same arguments
Yeah.
about the freaking sequel trilogy. But basically, I'm curious to see that. I think it's kind of cool. It looks interesting. I'm not going to play the game. Like, I downloaded the freaking Squadrons game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what's
played it,
funny is like
twice.
I bought that Squadrons game.
Yeah.
I played it the one time I brought
Yeah.
it over here,
Yeah.
never touched it again.
Yeah. So, I mean...
And it was cool.
It was cool, but
I'm
like-
I'm not a gamer. It takes, it would take a lot for me to get into a video game. I'm very surprised I play Fortnite.
Yes.
And it's like, other than that, it's like, dude, like, I play Spider-Man on PS5
Yeah.
and I could play that 100 times.
Well, that covered some Star Wars news, I
Yeah.
guess. Other than that...
There's some movie news that isn't Disney
Spider-Man?
related. No.
Oh.
Well, of course, that comes out Thursday. Hyped. But, dude, surprisingly, I watched the Sonic 2 trailer yesterday. That movie looks so good. It looks really fun. Did you see the first one? It's actually really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this movie's gonna be so stupid. And it was during the pandemic. It happened to come out. I think anybody watching would be like, if you watch it, it's just fun. Like, it's not a great movie, but it's surprising. Like, it's classic, like 90s Jim Carrey. He's so goofy and ridiculous.
I would say this. I'll watch the trailer.
It looks cool.
But you have a terrible track record of movies that you think are good and which ones you think are
I'm
bad.
just like, I'm surprised that I'm like, yo, like, I watched the first movie.
If you were a movie critic, no one would ever. They'd look at your your little review of movies and then be like, okay, everything's exactly the opposite.
Well, okay, I don't think that's true because to be fair,
know.
I just haven't seen a lot of movies, which is a fair argument.
Which
but
means-
when
which-
I watch them, I'm always like, wow, that was really good. Like you had me watch John Wick, and I'm still like, when are we all gonna like? Sure, I could go watch John Wick 2 by myself, but I'm like,
yeah.
dude, let's watch it all together because that was so fun. Or like I even was talking to you about The Matrix. I've never seen a Matrix movie, but I saw the trailer for the new one. I was like, that looks cool.
How have you never seen a Matrix movie?
I know. But I'm like, that looks
my
cool. I'd
God.
want to watch them all now.
Just so
or,
you guys know, the animatronic trio is about to go down to animatronic Uno.
Hey.
Because what?
Not even like science fiction movies. These Wes Anderson films, I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox by myself, and I was cracking up. Like, that movie is hilarious.
Yes. So what you're telling me is all the movies that I've said are good.
Well,
and told
right.
you to
I'm just
watch
saying it's
are
like,
good?
I just don't happen to watch a lot of movies, but like when I watch them, I'm like, yeah, they're good. Like, I don't,
Yes.
I think
But I think maybe you will stop thinking
but like-
that,
but again, like, I can
Tobey Maguire
critique-
was a good Spider-Man. Zing.
No.
See that triggered face?
No.
You
Well,
lost- you
it's
just
like
lost your
I'm
mind.
so biased about Spider-Man that I have very conflicting feelings about each iteration of Spider-Man.
Oh.
So it's like, but I'm excited to see all three of them together.
I'm not.
I'm
Anyway.
I'm gonna stand up and scream in that
Please
theater.
don't.
I
Nobody
will.
wants you to do that.
Everybody will. That's the best part about going to opening nights. The opening night of Avengers Endgame, when Captain America got Thor's hammer, everybody stood up and was screaming. And that's gonna happen on Thursday in Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'll be sleeping.
It's gonna be awesome.
Is it a midnight showing?
No, they don't do that anymore. They haven't. They
Why don't they do that
haven't. They don't
anymore?
do midnight showings ever since the Dark Knight shooting. Why midnight? I don't know, but they just kind of were like, yeah, we don't do late night screenings
I
anymore.
feel like shootings could happen
I know,
anytime.
but I think
But okay.
maybe it was just ironically around that time. But since that movie premiere, I don't think they do it anymore because I went to that midnight showing.
Interesting.
But no, this is a 6:00 showing. They actually started at 3:00 for this movie.
Well, then
I was
why
like,
don't they just... If it's a
I know. I don't know why they always say. I know they always do
It was
that.
like Black Friday. Remember Black Friday used to
Oh, yeah.
start...
Now
it started on Black Friday at 6 a.m.
Right.
Then it was 5 a.m. Then it was midnight.
Yeah.
And then it was 4 p.m. on Thursday.
On Thanksgiving.
Then it was all day Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, what the fuck
Right.
is
Now
the point
it's
of calling
all
it
week.
Black Friday? Well, now it's like I was getting emails for Black Friday sales for weeks.
Yeah.
And they're like, I remember Black Friday, the day of Black Friday, I was getting emails that were like last chance for Black Friday sales. And I'm like, this should be the first chance for Black Friday sales.
Yeah. I know, I'm still getting those emails.
Yeah, well, and then all that stuff that was on sale is still on sale through Christmas. But
all right.
Thanks a lot. Freaking
Omicron.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Omicron.
What does that name even mean?
It's moronic if you mix up the letters. It really is.
I'm just like Omicron. It's so stupid.
I'm not here
It sounds like a transformer, but
it is actually. It's Megatron.
Yeah, it is a transformer, bro, because the virus is transforming.
So, shifting gears out of coronavirus talk. We had it at school.
Oh, wait. I was talking about movies, and I watched the Sonic trailer, but I also watched, and we were talking about gaming a little bit too. There's a trailer for the Halo series. I used to play Halo in high school all the time, like all of them.
Well, like like a Halo movie?
It's a show, a streaming show.
Like the YouTube one they did back in the day?
That was cool. But it looks good. Like, really good.
I mean, it seems like it's one of those franchises that could make good, like, you could make.
I'm surprised that it's just now happening. Like, because, when that YouTube series came out, it's like, why is this
Dune came out? We watched Dune.
Oh, yeah, we did watch Dune. I enjoyed that.
We talked about that. Maybe we'll have a separate thing, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I enjoyed it, but I have read the books. And so people are kind of like, what did I just watch? That didn't tell me anything. And it's like, well, it told you a lot, but it was very cinematic.
Yeah.
So I think people either were like, this is amazing, and then people were like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Well, I was kind of like in between that. I was like, I thought it was a really good movie. But yeah, there were a lot of parts where I was like, I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people, like, I see the side of like, oh, why do they hype up Zendaya so much? And she literally wasn't in the movie. And it's like, I understand the building that they're doing. And it's like, she's a central character to the
You probably
narrative.
think she's awesome.
I don't.
I'm not.
No, I don't. No offense to her.
Spider-Man.
And hey,
Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland. I do not like the fact that Zendaya is playing a character named MJ, but her name is not Mary Jane. I do not care if she's not the same skin color, doesn't have the same hair color as Mary Jane.
I find it funny that
why change her name?
I find it funny that with Star Wars, you're like, I don't want to see the old characters. I don't want to see the classics. I want to see new stuff. Spider-Man, you're mad. You're like, fuck this. It's different than what I want it to be.
Well, it's like
that was all. I don't need to retort.
I wouldn't mind. There's so many like relationships that they could have Peter Parker be in, but it's like, why call her MJ if she's not Mary Jane? Like I said, I don't care if you want to like take a character who's white in the comics and have an African American play her. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But why change her name? What's the point? Why refer to her as the same initials if you're going to call her Michelle Jones instead of Mary Jane? That's
her name is Michelle Jones.
Michelle Jones. I'm like, that's so dumb.
Oh.
Very dumb.
That is random. That's a weird choice.
It's dumb.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just...
that would be literally... Like, and I get it's like, oh, but we already had a whole trilogy of Mary Jane, so why have a character called MJ? Why not do something totally different? You had the Amazing Spider-Man, but they did the Gwen Stacy storyline. Well, and technically, Peter Parker's first love in the comics was Betty Brant. You could have done this movie with Betty Brant.
Well, maybe because they're doing this whole universe.
It's like, dude, I get it. I'm down for like things not being exactly how they are in the comics. But it's like, if you're gonna call her MJ, have her be Mary Jane.
Well, maybe because of the multiverse in this multiverse, it's MJ, but it's also. So I mean, I think it's dumb, but I think I am going to like her more in this movie because I didn't like her at all in Homecoming. I liked her a little more in Far From Home. So it's like, I do like, and I get the slow direction that they're going with the character. I'll be honest with you, I hope she dies. Not because I don't like her as a character or her as an actress. Has nothing to do with that. I think part of Peter Parker is he has to go through tragic events to understand what it means to be Spider-Man. He always loses Uncle Ben. He lost Iron Man.
This is true.
So you could say that.
But to me, losing Iron Man was like losing Uncle Ben because in this iteration, we didn't see him lose Uncle Ben. He never refers to Uncle Ben.
Well, so technically... Maybe this is his loss.
I hope it's MJ. I think he should lose because he loses Gwen Stacy, which is like a turning point in his life. And since Gwen Stacy isn't in these movies, and we already saw Gwen Stacy die in some other movies, but it's like, Peter needs to lose a love. What's the word I'm looking for? A love interest.
Okay.
To have that be a turning point in his life and how he handles himself and relationships moving forward with his life as Spider-Man. We don't need to get into any more Spider-Man. We can leave it at that.
Interesting. I think he thinks Spider-Man's real.
He is.
I'm talking to the camera. I'm not talking to you. I think he thinks Spider-Man's real. So, like, what do they call us when you have a moment and you speak to the camera? A soliloquy? Is that what that is?
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. I think he loves Spider-Man a little bit too much.
He's pretty cool.
So let's talk about Disneyland. We're going to Disneyland.
Why'd you point over there?
I just thought of it.
Bike.
I thought of Disneyland by looking at my bike over there. Monday. Today is Friday. 2 days. We're leaving Disneyland. Be there for 2 days. If you're there, what's up? You're probably not listening to this.
Maybe someday you will, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, remember back then on
that one day we were there
December 14th?"
Tell people what date it is.
Oh, whoops.
I don't know why we wouldn't tell people what date it is.
Remember back then? Anyways, yeah. We're going. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. So 2 days. That'll be sweet. It's supposed to rain.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain on the first day that we're there, which I don't mind it.
But it was also not supposed to rain here until next week, and it rained here. So maybe,
hopefully,
it's
I hope.
moving faster than it.
Like, don't get me wrong. I went to Disneyland one time where it poured rain like I've never seen it. The
it
park
can be
was
fun.
dead. It was fun. I was soaking wet. It's freezing cold. But
The problem is a lot of rides shut down.
yes, that. And this first day, we're going to have a little tag-along partner, and it may not be ideal. My almost 4-year-old daughter is joining us, and I don't think that would be an ideal situation for it to be pouring rain with a 4-year-old.
I think
I've already today had to buy a rain cover for her stroller on Amazon. I had to buy her rain boots. So it's like, I don't want to deal with any of that. I think it'll be fun regardless.
Did you order Blundstones?
No. Those are expensive. Those are. I looked. Those are really, really cool boots. But I was like,
the best part was like he texted us. So we have me and Ashley wear Blundstone boots, and he texted us and was like, "What is the name of those boots?" And then like she texted the name, and I was like, I don't think he knows how expensive they are.
Yeah. No. Well, and what I was looking for, what I was looking for was like the name of the style of boot.
Chelsea boot.
That's just a Chelsea boot,
but it's like a round.
But they're like and they're like kind of like waterproof looking, right? That's what made me think of it.
I mean, they are waterproof up to the web, yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I don't know, they just look like a different style of boot. So I was like,
yeah. I mean, they're like a.
Because it's like a slip-on, like a Chelsea, but like it looks different.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what they were called. But yeah, those are really cool. And yeah, I'm obviously still.
You should invest in a pair.
I've got to find a pair of shoes before because again, I've been to Disneyland when it's pouring rain, and I don't want my shoes and socks soaking wet all day.
Well, I was stoked because I was gonna wear these even just for Splash Mountain because the worst is when the water comes over. The Blundstones.
Yeah, I got to do something. I don't own anything waterproof right now, so I've got about 2 days.
Do you remember when we went camping? Or we went camping. Did we go camping?
Yeah. No, we didn't go camping. We just stayed in a cabin.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was like, but
we went up north and
we went like on like a hike, and like you bought like these fashion hiking boots.
No.
And I was like, oh my god.
They're not even. They weren't hiking boots. They're just Chelsea boots. They're just
they were like dress boots.
They're like fashion, just like regular.
Yeah,
boots.
And I was like, oh, his feet are gonna be toast.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And we hiked a lot.
We did. My feet were hurting that day.
I know.
I broke those babies.
Me and Ashley sometimes will just chuckle about that.
Yeah.
We're like, remember that one time Aaron wore dress shoes on a hiking trip?
Oh man. Yeah.
It was so funny. I was like, what? And they were like brand new.
They were literally brand new. I bought them like the day before.
Like, people would be like, hey, I'm going to go to the woods. And he's like, well, I'm staying in a cabin, so I can wear dress shoes.
Right,
look woodsy. Yeah. But then, like, we went on an actual hike. And,
the dogs were barking. And I'm not talking about the actual dogs that we brought.
Oh, they were barking, too.
They were barking.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was a good time.
So anyway, sorry, get back to the park. We're going on Monday. And so a couple of things have happened in the past week, which are cool and not cool, in my opinion. Cool. They finally, it's a small world. Right, yeah. I'm not a big fan of It's a Small World, but it gets the holiday overlay every year. It shuts down for a month. and then it lights up, and it's pretty cool. I like it only during the holidays.
Yeah.
Because
and
you get it's more Christmas. There are things, like we were talking about this the other day, me and Ashley, and talking about how like there are things that like put you into the holiday spirit, and like we haven't really had them yet. It's like the beginning of December, and like I feel like we put up our tree, we put up our Christmas lights, but we haven't like done a whole lot of Christmassy things just yet.
Yeah.
And so like
that will be one.
Going to Disney during the holidays over the last like 4 or 5 years has kind of become, I don't want to say tradition, but like it's the time of year we tend to go.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me since I've been
during
in
holiday?
December. Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah.
It's probably been. Wait, when you and I went on New Year's, did they still have it? I think they did.
They still had
holiday, so it's been since then. Well, that was.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was a long time.
That was like 4 years ago,
at least, if not more.
I want to say it was January of 2017.
Yeah. Wow. And so like it's I mean, the way it's a thing that can put you into the holiday spirit. And anyway, so they shut down to do the holiday overlay for a month, but then it went over because they had like flooding and like all sorts of stuff. So like everyone was like, well, maybe it won't even open for the holiday.
Yeah, see, I haven't been keeping.
It opened the other day, so it's open, so we can do that. I'm stoked on that because I like
well,
it.
and I mean that's gonna be Lena,
and that's gonna be perfect for
gonna
the
be,
lean bean.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's happened is Genie Plus.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I saw it literally like today, but I was like, I didn't read about it.
The 8th. So it came out. So Genie is essentially the new Fast Pass system, which is weird. So I'll break it down. Well, when it dropped, it basically bombed. It crashed. Like the app crashed. Like the entire day didn't work, and like but people are saying now it's like good to go. So basically, there's 3 separate kind of aspects of this. There's Genie. And Genie itself on the app is essentially like a day planner. It's also like you select some things that you like, things that you're interested in, and throughout the day, it kind of gives you information on, hey, eating at the Red Rose Tavern is short no wait, or do you want to order food here, or do you want to go to this ride? Like, it's kind of like how the app, it's basically, I feel like a more algorithm-driven version of how you would like go through and look at like the times for rides and standby waits and things like that.
I saw a screenshot where it was like, "This is what Genie planned for my day. How fun!" And it was literally like the Lincoln thing and like a couple in a small world. It was all things that had like 5-minute wait times, and I was like,
so like I think. It's one of those things where, like, I think they rebranded it as, like, this big new thing, and everyone was, like, freaking out, and everyone's like, it's going to be terrible or horrible or good or bad. And, like, there's only a few tweaks, realistically, from, like, the old system. So, like, the Genie itself, like, being able to look at, whatever, the times, and it kind of predicts things for your day, I think is going to be pointless. And it's just, like, another thing to have on the app. Yeah. So then when it gets into the actually functional, hopefully, you have Genie Plus, which is essentially like Max Pass.
Right, and you have to buy it.
So before Fast Passes were free to everyone, right? Max Pass just allowed you to do your Fast Passes digitally and then get your photo pass. Mm-hmm. So like now Genie Plus is essentially what was a free Fast Pass for everyone is now $20 per person per day. So like when we get there, you say, okay, yes, we want Genie Plus, pay our $20. Now we have the ability to select Fast Pass windows. So I can go, okay.
Wow. I didn't know that.
What did you think?
Well, see, I thought the regular Genie had the...
No Fast Passes.
Wow.
So if you want Fast Passes, period, you got to pay the $20.
That's wild.
So again...
Man, they're really hosing you.
Dude,
like these people they're like, we got some ground to catch up with. We lost a lot of money.
A couple of years of rough
so now
times.
we got to charge everybody Fast passes.
And so it gets worse.
Oh gosh.
So you have obviously the Genie Plus, $20 a day per person per ticket
per day.
So then, which is like with the Max Pass you would pay $25. And so people were like, but fast passes in general were free no matter what.
Right.
So if I wanted to use the app and do it that way, cost money.
Yeah.
I'm paying for the convenience. Now you're paying for the convenience to even use a fast pass, right? So, okay. There are specific rides that are not included on this list, right?
I'm sure I can imagine which ones.
So there are 3. Can you guess the 3?
Oh, okay. There's
So,
3. Like just in Disneyland or in both parks combined?
Both parks combined. There
Okay.
are 3 rides
That are not included.
that are not included in Genie Plus for fast passes.
Okay.
What are they?
I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get all these wrong, but I'm going to guess Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wrong.
Interesting. So then that would...
I'm just actually, okay. I'm not going to say whether they're right or wrong. You just give me your 3 that you
All
think
right.
are.
Well, I already know that one's wrong, so I'm going to guess. I'm
Yeah,
going to guess
freebie.
the newest one, Web Slingers.
Okay.
Man, something from Disneyland. I guess I would guess Space Mountain. I'm assuming it. My brain's gonna think they're gonna be all the like really busy, high traffic ones, and I'm sure they're gonna be like ones that are just kind of like mediocrely popular.
Okay, tell me.
But my just based on what I would do, I would have assumed Web Slingers, Space Mountain, and I don't know. I was gonna go with Guardians of the Galaxy, and that makes me still want to go with something from DCA, maybe Incredicoaster. But now now let me guess the 3 that I wouldn't think. Something like Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, and Cars Land.
Cart the entire land.
Sorry, Radiator Springs.
So how come? What made you think that those 3 wouldn't? Okay, and so I guess maybe I didn't make this clear. They're not free to get a fast pass for included in your $20.
So you have to pay extra for these 3 rides?
Yes.
That's weird. I'm still gonna say Web Slingers just because it's new and it's high traffic.
Correct.
I'm gonna say that.
That is one.
I didn't even think about it before, but I'd actually still think maybe Radiator Springs because that's always been
Yes.
a big one.
Correct.
And now I want to say there's got to be at least one in Disneyland. I would find it kind of surprising that they would only pick 3 rides from DCA, so I'm going to stick with Space Mountain.
Wrong. Rise of Resistance.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that I knew that it was going to be one of those things where.
Yeah, I didn't even think
So
about
Rise of Resistance. So Rise of Resistance, Radiator Springs Raceway, and Web Slingers or Web Shooters
Makes
or whatever
sense.
the fuck it is. Excuse me.
it. It's stupid, but it makes sense.
And those will be an additional price per person per
Do you know how much?
ride from $7 to $20 depending upon
The time?
demand.
Wow. So now, if you pay to get a fast pass for that ride,
Yes.
does it still put you in that weird queue thing, or is it guaranteed?
No, there
if
isn't.
you pay for it, is
there
it
isn't.
guaranteed?
There's no more virtual queue.
Okay.
for that.
So now, if you
Yeah.
pay for the fast pass, do you get a guaranteed spot in the ride, like
Unless it
regardless
breaks
of what
down.
time? Right.
Right. So like so here's how it works. So say I have Genie Plus and I get it's 9 a.m. I'm in the park. I have a fast pass for noon for Space Mountain. Okay. I can only have one fast pass.
So it's still going to be like that.
So yeah. So
That's so dumb.
It's basically the same. So ish. So you have one of 2 things can happen. You have one fast pass until you use that fast pass. You cannot book another ride, or it's been 2 hours since you booked the first one. So say you walk in the door and then Radiator Springs, or not Radiator Springs, but like say Space Mountain is booked up until 6 p.m. It's 8 a.m. Did I just pay $20 to only go on one ride?
Right.
10 hours later? No. Right. After 2 hours, you can book another one.
Okay.
So you could have you could technically have 2, right? Who knows if the situation would be the case where you have one late in the day and then you would be able to get more than that. I don't know if that would actually work, but apparently 2 is this case. If you, from what I understand, if you book a fast pass for like 10 for Space Mountain again, Indiana Jones, whatever, and I pay for a Rise Lightning Lane at a certain time, I can have those 2. So those are 2 independent things, right? From what I understand.
That's
So it is, I mean,
fair.
It's one of those things where it's like, again, a bummer that you had to pay $20 for Fast Pass, period.
Yeah.
I mean, we always got Max Pass.
Right.
But it felt more worth it
Right.
because it was kind of like, it's a convenience thing. I'm willing to pay for that because I want the convenience of having the app, and also I wanted the photo pass.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like a bummer because if you want fast passes, period.
Right.
So they're kind of hosing everybody.
Yeah.
Not just the people that were willing to pay the extra for the convenience. You're hosing everybody. And then now you have that additional...
Hosing.
I know.
What do you think of like literally someone taking a big firefighter's hose and just blasting you away?
Yeah. And then the addition of the individual lightning lanes that cost more. And it's like, I mean, there are still, obviously, you could still ride Radiator Springs. You could still ride Web Slinger. You could still ride Rise.
You're just going to be in that 200-minute wait.
And so I think what I think is going to happen is because of this, they're going to bump standby wait times higher to encourage people to buy Genie Plus and
Makes sense.
And it's like two things are happening. I think they're going to make more money,
Yes.
which obviously they want to do.
Yes. And I get that. It's like, I don't fault them. They were closed for so long. They shut down. Literally, we don't have a Disney store in Arizona anymore.
I fault them.
Well, but I mean, like...
I understand where they're coming from. I don't think it's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, they're going to make more money because people are going to buy individual lightning lanes and Genie Plus. Two, they're going to have people that are not waiting in queues, right? So if I pay, I mean, this is what FastPass was so great for them also, is if you're not waiting in queues, you're spending money on food and merchandise, right? You're shopping, because that's the other things to do. So they want to continue to do that. So they're going to make the wait times look really shitty to push you towards those things. And it's like, I again, understand. It just kind of is a bummer. I mean, but we'll see how it works. I mean, here's the problem. Like, me and Ashley and you, like, we want to do Rise of Resistance. We've already paid, and another key point. You do not have to have bought Genie Plus in order to have used an individual lightning lane.
What? How does that work?
So, like, I can just book an individual lightning lane without having spent that $20. So say I don't want to spend the $20 for the fast passes,
right?
Or lightning lanes.
And I can see people wanting to do that.
But I just want to go on Rise today, so I'm going to spend the $20.
Okay.
So that's at least you can do that. At least those are still available.
That makes sense.
If they had made it so you have to have the Genie Plus, that would have been a real hosing. Yeah. The hose got bigger. So like that is a positive, I guess.
Right.
But imagine if you go and you're like a family of 5, and you guys all want to ride Rise, and it's $20 per person. It's $100 to go on one ride.
Yeah, bro, that's freaking nuts.
And like, how much like you spend? You know,
freaking crazy.
You spend because what our tickets $260 for 2 days, right? So you're looking at what is that? How much is that a day? $170 something a day.
Yeah.
No, $180 a day. Spend $180 a day. Then you got to go spend $20 more, and then possibly $7 to $20 per ride if you want to do it.
It's freaking crazy.
Like, so it's just one of those things where it's like, man, like you're really shaking people upside down with the change in their pockets. And it's like, I understand the business aspect of what they're doing, but it's like, and the problem is they know people are still going to go.
Yeah, of course.
And the problem, and the only way they're going to change it is if people stop going to the parks.
And we're never going to.
And people are not going to stop.
People like us are like, okay.
Well, and the problem is like it's shut down for 2 years.
Yeah.
So you have people who are just itching to go. And then they go, this is the new cost of doing business, folks. You like Disney? This is what it costs. And then people go like, well, that really sucks.
But I also really like churros.
Yeah, so take my money. And so like just with the world and inflation and like it's things are getting expensive. So I mean I think what's just gonna happen is it's going to I remember what I was gonna say about another thing that's kind of happened lately. But it's one of those things where it's going to eventually just price out people. Like I I remember when I was little, man, and I wanted to go so fucking bad. So bad. And it was like one of those things I was just like, it's never gonna happen. I have a big family. There's 6 of us. Going to Disneyland is expensive. Right. And I remember it finally happened. But
how old were you?
I think 7th grade.
Oh, nice.
So
it's a good age.
Good age. But at the same time, I'm sure that trip cost my parents $5,000. You know, and that was a lot of money in 1999, 1998.
Yeah.
So it's people are not going to be able to do, especially if you're a family of 5 or 6, you can't go for a reasonable, it's getting harder and harder for families to even be able to do these things. And it's not to get sentimental, but it's Walt Disney wanted to make a lot of money, but he also wanted to create a space where people can go and have fun with their families. And it's getting to the point where it's hard to do that because the kids are enjoying it, but the parents are checking their Chase app, going Jesus, or they're just racking up the credit card debt, and it's well, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's a bit unfortunate.
It is.
But we're gonna go and spend all of our money there.
I know we're gonna do it anyways.
And and probably see if we can get an annual pass also.
Well, what's funny too is my mom and dad want to take Lena for her birthday, which is at the end of January. Yeah. So when I go there, it's I'm just gonna I'm not gonna pay for regular tickets again. It's I'm just gonna freaking swap it to an annual.
I think the only things that are available are the basic.
Yeah, right and now. It's that. That's just what I'm gonna have to do.
Which is, is fine for us who are out of state.
Yeah.
Because if you want to pop it, let's not get into that whole debacle with these Magic Key programs. Because again, another one of those things where, what are you doing, Disney?
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother long conversation, so we don't have to get into that. But have you seen anything about the Galactic Star Cruiser?
Oh,
hotel?
Yeah.
Okay. That was another thing.
Okay.
I was there was more things that came out in this last week that I was what?
Oh, wait, in the last week? I didn't hear anything about the last week.
Well, did you see the trailer?
Oh, no. Wait, I saw pictures.
Okay, so yes, there's been pictures and blah, blah, blah. No, Disney dropped a teaser on YouTube and then removed it from Twitter. And basically there was so much negative conversation.
I was going to say, I remember people saying they hated it, but I only just saw pictures.
Oh my gosh, there was so much negative that Disney literally removed it from YouTube.
Wow.
There's no dislike button anymore, but they can still take it off. So yeah.
Interesting.
It's bad. We could talk about that for an hour.
Wow.
You should. And now this video has kind of become the holiday special. Because it's so cringe. And everyone's but then they took it off. So now you got to find a grainy copy that somebody bootlegged. So it's sort of become it obviously was an embarrassment. And why did they do it? I don't know.
Wow.
We could talk for 30 minutes on everything that was wrong with that. But I don't know. Here we are.
Yeah. I know you were saying you wanted to keep this a short one, but
I don't know how long we've been talking. But
let's do some basics, talk some fun stuff about what are you most looking forward to this time around?
Well, it's weird because last time we went, we got COVID, didn't get to do anything. So I'm excited to just go and have a good trip.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily itching to do anything specific. Obviously, I don't want to do Rise. I want to do Guardians.
Yeah.
But for me, I honestly the things that I think, I don't want to say this sounds pretentious, but true Disneyland fans who enjoy Disneyland for Disneyland are not necessarily, man, I want to pack in 100 rides.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do rides. Don't get me wrong. But I enjoy eating food, trying new stuff. Actually, the day we're going to be, the Disneyland candy canes are going to be there. They make them right there on Main Street. So those are going to be there on one of the days. I mean, they haven't made them in the last couple of years, but they're back for this year, which is cool. Like stuff like that, like just Main Street at night with the holidays.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm looking for.
There's certain stuff where it's like Main Street at night is awesome in itself.
Yeah.
But like Main Street at night with the holiday stuff,
Right.
you're like, there's something about it. It just like flips you into like, I love Christmas.
Right.
I love that. Like it makes you
like
happy.
even hearing the Christmas music, like that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to walking in the gates, seeing the tree, hearing the Christmas music playing, looking at the lights, and then it's like usually when we're talking about food and snacks, it's like I always stick with the same things. This time around, it's like, dude, I want some hot chocolate.
You gotta venture.
Yeah, I'm saying like the holiday snacks and goodies are just like.
Well, that's the
dude,
thing.
It's gonna be freaking awesome.
There's so many things like that. Again, if you're there with like a little kid, like which we're gonna be with, your little one.
Yeah, for one of the days. Yeah.
Which I think, I mean, either way will be fine. I mean, she's not gonna. We'll talk about that. Like, what's our plan? But like, there's even if you're with like a little one, there's so much you can do that's like even just like walking through area like
Right.
I mean
like her walking through the castle and like seeing some princesses, she's gonna like that'll be fun, like because it's things that like sure we walk through the castle, but we're not always like, oh wow, like let's look at this and look at all these details, and then the magic of, oh, here comes Belle walking
but
by.
You're also like doing the rides in Fantasyland.
Yeah, they're freaking fun.
Like you can do all those rides in a short amount of time, except for Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And it's like, but there's a lot of times you don't do those because you're trying to chase down Indiana Jones or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, even me and Ashley a couple of times have been like, let's just hit Fantasyland.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow,
fun.
it's. I think there's gonna be something they're setting up something in Redwood Challenge Trail in DCA, which me and Ashley love.
Love that.
Literally, there's a YouTube video on our channel of me and Ashley just.
It's like your first video, huh?
It's like our first. Is it our first?
I think it's the first video.
And it's from holiday season. From like 3 years ago.
Jeez.
They got the Jingle Bridge.
Ooh,
If you get that reference from my YouTube video that nobody watched. Ashley hurts herself. It's hilarious. Watch that video. Actually, I'll put the link in the description. Is that what do people on YouTube do? Yeah, I'll put that in there because I know how to do that now. Yeah, I mean, it's just like again, like that. We just ran around in Redwood Challenge Trail.
Yeah.
Ashley got turned away from riding on the rope swing. Like, sorry, she's like, I meet the height requirement. And I'm like, you're not 12 because 12's the age requirement.
Oh
and like this little lady was like,
Sorry.
sad, sorry.
Wow.
But like, yeah, just like that. I mean, I think the water feature at DCA, all the water is not there right now.
Right.
Which is sort of a bummer.
Yeah. I know, because we didn't. Yeah, that's something. There are things that I haven't done in years.
World of Color.
That's like the Grizzly River. Oh yeah. I was like, maybe it hasn't been that many years.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
there's one though. There's one where I was like, wait, like it's been years, and I was just thinking about it.
I mean, like it's. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, this time of year at Disney, I feel like, especially, it's one of those things where, like, you kind of want it to get to be nighttime.
Right.
Because it's so it's so cool.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't want it to be nighttime because the day's over. Like, it's like a weird thing where, like, but, like, luckily the parks are open fairly
Well,
late.
and you know what's cool, too, is, like, we're in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's been, like, 80 degrees. Like, sure, it's been a little cooler the last couple days here, but it's been, like, 80 degrees. And I was looking at the weather, dude, the high is, like, 55. Like, it's going to be nice.
Well, it's funny because, like, I feel like... Jeez. Oh, just smack my mic. Yeah. Me and Ashley, like, the last year before the shutdown, we got our passes in November. And we went 6 times... No, 7 times before the shutdown. We were there the day of the shutdown.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, And it was funny because I was like talking to her, and like the years before that, like I tend to only go around my birthday, which is November, and so it's always holiday time. And so like literally, we were talking, we're like, oh, it'll be so weird because like for me, when I think about going to Disneyland, I think about cool weather and like jackets and sweaters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it'd be so nice to go like to where you enjoy getting soaked on Grizzly River Run or enjoy getting soaked on Splash Mountain.
Right.
Like,
and then we didn't get to
and then I'm like, and then so we didn't get to do it at all. And like, so now going back there, like my brain just goes to like cold weather clothing because like that's the time of year we tend to go.
Yeah. And that's funny because it's the time I've gone the least, and so that's why I look forward to it so much because it's like I'm used to like, oh, all of a sudden it's 10 or 11 o'clock and the sun is beaming on the back of my neck, and it's just like, oh, I forgot I wore a black shirt.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm looking forward to just like being in a hoodie all day long, and again, you know, it might rain and.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we've had some fun times in the rain.
Yeah,
and if it like sprinkles, that's cool because it kind of clears out everybody, but the rides don't. Like, there's there's a good balance if you can get that. So hopefully, I mean, I've been looking at the wait times, standby times.
Not bad.
They've not been seeming bad, but I mean, that was also like this week. And like every week is closer to the holiday and it's busier. So like
schools are gonna be out.
Who knows what exactly it'll be like? I mean, it could be, you know, super busy. But I mean, I think at this point, they're also still not to full capacity anyway. I don't think they are actually running full capacity.
And it's always nice kind of going on a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
I mean, I've not gone to Disney on a weekend in a long time. Because like
on a weekday?
No, on a weekend.
Oh.
We always go on weekdays. We literally, every time we go, we like drive out Monday or Tuesday, and usually we leave Friday.
Yeah.
Like, so that way it's like Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. Like, those are the days I feel like we like to be at the park. Just because it's like, if you can, we luckily have fairly flexible schedules. Like, if you can, that's when you're going to get the best time. Right. So, we're stoked. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Eat some food. I'm going to try to get this out. Maybe this evening, if we're cooking some food, I'll just edit it up, try to get this out. See if I remember how. It's been too long. And then, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, we're going to the park. Let's do it. We're going to try to do these more frequently. We'll probably do when we get back. Let's do it.
Let's do it. That's it. Welcome back to the trio, baby.
We're back. This is interesting because I can just click. I'm going to do it like, you know, the old TV shows where like it fades to the middle. Yeah. Nice. Where like I pretend like I hit the TV remote. Hold on, let me set up my TV remote so it looks realistic. Oh, all right.
Didn't we used to say something?
TV show's over. Oh, did I say something?
Didn't we used to say something when we would sign off?
I don't know. Did we say something?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, remember, like, subscribe, follow Animatronic Trio on YouTube and everything. Search it on all major podcast platforms. Subscribe, share it, tell your friends. Write a comment. Use the thumbs up button, not the thumbs down button, because it's not there anymore. We won't delete this like Disney deleted its Star Cruiser.
Ouch, burn.
Let me turn the TV off later.